I am live. PS Vita. Everything seems to be working right. Alt tab. Just want to make sure. Gotta go and check my go live. See if my feed's there. My feed is there. Okay. Cool. Alright. This is the sort of nothing stream. Technically, I just wanted to show homebrew system. Well, not homebrew system, but set up in the homebrew system. I mean, definitely, that's not stock. I don't have a PS5 though, and I'm not planning on buying one. That's staying on there because my nephews have a PS5. Otherwise, I'd get rid of it. Made a bunch of Enzo stuff in here, but I probably should set up another thing underneath there at some point. Shooters folder section. My whatever is in here. I think I got in Yo-Yo Loader. I have AM2R, the patched recent version. Probably uninstall some of this if I'm going to do what I want to do. So I want to look at the store after I see how many pages I have full. And when I mean store, I'm not talking the PlayStation store, because soon that's going to be closed. I am going to look in the Vita database, that downloader, and I'm going to do what I'm going to do in there. I'm actually surprised that icon of does not have Albert Einstein's tongue sticking out of it. Really makes you wonder what the heck I've been up to. My sense of humor is not in there. Anyway, we're going to look at Vita database downloader. This is the official store of the Vita database website. This site tends to try to have non-copyrighted, but it's gonna show you that basically it's only non-copyrighted as long as it doesn't have copyrighted materials available for you to download from there first. This fact does not change that you can find some questionable entries still, like this right here. I know FNAF World is freeware, but if I was to look up Five Nights at Freddy's on here, you would also see that there's FNAF 1 and FNAF 2, and you already seen that FNAF 1 set on here. The thing is that FNAF 1 doesn't even require the original game data. It is a reconstruction. But it uses the original art, so I don't know how it's being legal. A couple other ones on here that make me ask questions. But but some of these are like legit current ports, like this one right here, Darius Burst SP. This one, it uses the Android EPK. The files unpacked from the Android EPK. So to even get this, you have to buy the game on a cell phone, and it has to be an Android phone. And then you'd have to APK rip it. And I mean, there are tools that you can get where you can APK rip paid for programs. And then once you APK rip the paid for program, you can extract the game data from the APK, because the APK is just a zip file. And then you put the game data from the APK in the folder that you run that in. That's how that one works. Multi-step, multiple panes. Why I'm interested instead is one thing right here. This one's curious. This one's curious to me. Maze of Gallius for the PS Vita. This is a port of Konami's game for the MSX computer. This is actually based on the open source remake of it that had art supplied by the same guys that made La Mulana. I'm wondering if this is just set up like that. If that's the case, then this is actually a pretty good start to this. I'm going to install it. Because the only thing that's copyrighted that would have been in the remake, right, is it uses the original version of the remake used rips of sprites from the MSX release. If this just uses the artwork that was created by the La Mulana team, then this is actually 100% legal. And the only way to really find out is to watch it boot up. And then, of course, the way it boots up could be copyrighted. But then again, it's a Konami game. So if it announces that it's a Konami game, then it's not really illegal, is it? My main thing is that I'm waiting on Konami to actually go ahead and commission Nigaro to go ahead and make this remake on consoles. I do know that they are capable of doing it. They have their art assets is actually theirs, that they can tweak to whatever way they want. So there's no copyright issue involving the art assets. They're only the art assets are only in here because they were submitted for this remake. And they're like, yeah, we'll just create this art assets for the remake. You can use it in the remake, and that's all there is to it. So I don't really think there's going to be an issue involving the sprite assets if they're altered to match the more detailed, colorful look that's in the La Mulana remake compared to the original La Mulana. That really baffles me because they have Call of Duty Black Ops Zombies there, right? But the thing is that there already is zombies on the PS Vita. So basically they're giving you the option to use the cell phone version. At least that's what I'm thinking that COD is right above the Maze of Gallius Vita installer. Oh, listen to those fireworks. Pop, 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 pop. You can tell it's Independence Day. Now, one of the neat things about this Maze of Gallius remake is that it actually uses an open source examination of the original game's password system. So you could actually transfer your save game between this and an MSX computer, which is just baffling but funny. Yeah, I know you're still installing it. Now, another one I guess to be right is that 1G got bought by Sony, and they spent like a year or so making Marathon. And the original Marathon is not available on Sony systems. On the screen up there at the top, where it shows LF1 Vita, I'll scroll up to it. LF1 Vita. This is the original Marathon engine. It's a recreation of the original Marathon engine. It uses assets from Marathon 2 and it also supports Marathon Infinity, as it says natively. But where it says original Marathon, that's actually a recreation of the original Marathon. The original Marathon would never run on Aleph-1's engine, but it's still accurate, right? It's got the official seal of quality from Bungie. You technically can get these assets for free still. Bungie released them into the public domain. The first 3 Marathon games got released in the public domain, and then when they decided that they wanted to make a game commercially that in the vein of Marathon, they went and made Halo, and then they lost control of Halo, so they went back to remaking Marathon after they finished Destiny. The thing is, I don't even know if Destiny fans are going to consider that finished, but that's how they want to do it. Oh, hello! Oh, wait a second. I think I forgot to turn on a layer, because I didn't even see your pop-up. No, I should have seen that come up over there. A happy 4th of July to you, too. Spend this celebrating my independence from Sony's licensing. Mostly because I want to have control of my software and my movies. So, PS Vita has been modified. I modified it a few years ago to record content off the thing, and gradually over the time I haven't really played with it till recently when I had the urge to start looking again after seeing that report of Sony removing a bunch of movies from purchases of PlayStation owners, and they've gone so far into actually deleting them off the PS5s. So anybody who downloaded like Terminator 2 or something like that after they bought it and it was on their PS5, it got deleted. So I'm kind of like, no, you're not having control of that system, of my PS Vita, because I am almost certain they'll try to do that to the PS Vita. Because they already said they're closing the PS Vita and the PS3 store. Completely closing it. But one of the things I want to do is I want to get, now I've seen this. Yeah, I know, right? Legal issues. But now that I've seen this, with Marathon being on the Vita, I want it on the Vita. But to put it on the Vita, I'm going to have to make some room. So, I do know what it says, my free storage is 428 megabytes. That's not quite enough to have all of Marathon on there. Maybe 2 episodes, but I want the whole set. When I get done with this, I'm going to have the Marathon Trilogy running underneath that. And I'm using my PS4 controller. I know you can't see the camera for it. One moment. I had issues earlier with the camera. So, here I am. My PS4 controller I'm using to run this. Normally you can't connect the PS4 to a PS Vita. I had to, as part of my homebrewing on here, I installed an open source driver that basically replicates what the PS TV can do. It's actually a combination of like three different drivers. 2 for the controller, one is for the main thing, and the other one's for the touchscreen on the controller. And then the third driver I installed, right, was the video capture one that allows me to capture the video, and that's how I'm recording it. I'm doing it through a video capture plugin. But anyway, I need to make some room. And I'm going to do it by removing a game I'm not really playing right now. Sony says that you can still get the games on here that are official, that will have the network crossplay with the PS Now titles. So anybody that has PS Now can access some of these games, and I wouldn't have to argue with them. But then there are other ones, right, that I have on here that the PS Now guys will never see. And those are the ones I'm actually worried about. That's another reason why I'm talking about this, because this way I'm taking control of my system. Because I do know La Milana is on the PlayStation 4, because I have it on PS4. I also have, because I have it on PS4, I have it on Steam. I like La Milana so much, I bought it multiple times. That's how you support your developers you appreciate. So, see, I don't really need Bunny Must Die. But I don't remember how big that file is. So... Oh, you didn't do what I wanted you to do. Why did you do it that way? I guess I'm going to have to hold my finger on the touch screen. And hit that. And, show me the game's info. Okay, that is not enough to remove, so I'm not going to bother. Prince of Persia, this is, open source version. It uses its own different take on the artwork for the PC DOS, but it's based on the Apple II code. Plays pretty good, actually. Other ones on here, like Circuit Dude. I know this game is actually commercial. It's on the Switch commercially, but the developer put it available for the PS Vita for free, and I'm like, cool. But yeah, see, there's Five Nights at Freddy's. I was talking about this earlier. But then I went crazy and said I was getting all the board games I could get on here because I could play on the go. And that way, I mean, yeah, it would be great if I could hand you a Vita, but it's kind of difficult because this is like my only Vita, and I'm not having any giveaway, unfortunately. These things are going to get pretty hard to buy pretty soon. That's for sure. But, on here I got some of my paid games, and then the replacements for some of the paid games, because some of the paid games lost their internet functionality, and I said, well, screw it, I'm going to add them that I have them. So that's why I got hit. Hitmore here doesn't actually have internet multiplay, but... Oh, thank you. I only do oddball things every once in a while. Usually I just play some retro old stuff. This is like the most newest thing you're gonna see for a while. I'm telling you, this is how I am. Except for whenever I get around to actually doing the what's that name of that one game? So it's a game one of my other viewers asked for. Plays like Ultima, has a neon aesthetic. It's supposed to be a roguelike. It's on Steam, but I ended up getting the version of it on the app image instead from itch.io. Where is that game? Should be on here. Ah, Moon Ring. That's the name of the game, Moon Ring. At some point I'll get the Moon Ring. But today is Independence Day. I'm declaring my independence from Sony's dystopia, where they want to remove physical media and take away your movies you purchased. I mean, it's a double whammy. Not a big fan of that. But anyway, I'm trying to figure out where I want to make some room here. I could probably get rid of Heart of the Alien. But I want to keep Gloom on here, because Gloom is the Amiga first-person shooter. Oh, there's Mesa Gallius. Let's see how well it runs first before I even start thinking about Marathon on here. Oh, I just realized I forgot to share the stream on X. That's my bad. One moment. There we go. Okay. Well, so far the music sounds like it's reorchestrated. It's not using the chips, the rips from the Konami sound chip on the MSX. So I have high hopes already. That opening also did not seem to be the same, even though it was proudly announcing that it was a Konami game. Yeah, that is totally newfangled. That is not. Yeah, GR3 project. Okay, so yes, this is on the same team that made Lama Lana and the Lama Lana remake when they became the new company Nigaro. So isn't it kind of ironic? I'm going to be playing the Maze Gallius remake before Konami's official Maze Gallius remake is released. I hope someday it actually comes out. Up his jump. Oh, I got my name called. One moment while he has a sit on the pot, and I go and check out why I have my name called. I guess. Pardon me, puppies. Okay, I'm back. It was an order for some watermelon to snack on. How'd he fall in the toilet? Oh well. That's not good. I'm about ready to kill Pokemon. Wow, that jumping is kind of tricky. What am I doing? He's got a shield. And he died. Yeah, he's out. He's dead. I like how this is out. He's literally dead. Wow, it's taking forever to kill that skeleton with her. Down the stairs after that. I just went in a loop. Okay, so I'm going to say that this works perfectly. That's pretty good. Now, I want to double check something. I'm going to look at what my file totals look like for Marathon. I'm using Commodore OS if you're wondering why there's a lot of weird sounds. Where's my file management? Okay, there it is. Downloads. Taking a look. Oh, it's not even showing them there. I must have moved them to the other hard drive. One moment. Just want to make sure. So I'm about ready to go to the one store and the Vita database. Well, technically there is a weird science going on when he talks to how Commodore is. One of the things I want to talk about is what Commodore is trying to do. Also, now that I mentioned it, Commodore wants to try to sell brand new flip phones. They're going to be running a fork of Android called Sailfish OS, and deliberately designed to not have any social media or web browsers on them. He basically is taking modern technology, the current head of Commodore. He wants to take the modern technology and put it in retro styling. He's got his cyberpunk 80s aesthetic, and that's what he wants to go with, and I love him for it. But I don't know if he's gonna be able to make a profit that way. Yeah, I'm gonna just go ahead and grab this. Homebrew data files. Of what? Oh, it's got the cheats menu. Okay. And the HUDs. Alright, now I see why. It doesn't have any of the game data. I'm going to be getting the game data. That's for sure. And the first task to this is I'm going to be doing a window capture. This way you can see what I'm up to. Alright? Going to LF1's low on site. Going to go and where's that? I click the game title itself. No, that's the bundle. Standalone game files. Yeah, that's what I want the standalone. Okay, then I want Marathon 2 standalone. And then Marathon Infinities standalone. And now I'm going to hide that. There's no point in showing what I'm going to be doing next, because then you just be seeing the echoing going across YouTube. And now I'm going to look at my downloads folder and see how big these would be if I was to unpack them all at once. Okay, 51. Okay, where's my tools? Calculator. Actually, maybe I'll just use my cell phone to do the calculation, because it's faster that way. 51. Actually, let's see, 52 plus. I'm going to just round up to the nearest one. 59 plus 35. Okay, it takes 146 megabytes. Actually, I could fit that on the PS Vita. I will do this. Now, what you're about to see next is going to be pretty boring. But, that's how it works. I'm going to come down here and see if Alpha1's there. Push the button so it builds its folders. Yep, okay, that's what I want to see. Alright, so the folders for Marathon are built. Now I'm going to go and go to Vita Shell. Now what you're going to see is going to be my local host. And so you won't be able to really get into the files. So I ain't worried about the ISP address being shown, because it's actually just the local network. That's my driver folder. Yes, I have like every driver on the planet in there, because I never know what controller I need. Okay, I'll do that. I'll do that right from in where's my application? Why am I drawing a blank? FileZilla. I'll do it right from FileZilla. Alright? Now the game should just sit in here, just as is. That's what I'm thinking. So, it's a shame I can't just drag and drop them inside of a folder. I have to unpack them before I can put them in there. So, I gotta go back to my downloads folder and extract them. I'm too used to use. I was using my Risk OS system the other day, and now I'm middle clicking for all the pop-ups and this. That's what's gonna take. That's what's taking a while, because I know middle click. I know actually does copying instead of pop-ups on Commodore OS. That's Linux, but it's kind of hard to break a habit once you get into it. Okay, the files are copying. I am not going to be showing my progress on FileZilla, but I will say which when it's working on right now. Right now, it's copying Marathon Infinity. Now, there's another thing that I think is kind of interesting is that this is going to have the HUD from the Xbox release of Marathon 2, but I don't know how that's going to work exactly with the original Marathon. The only reason I know about this is because it showed that that's what it was installing when I hit the install assets, because it showed the cheat menu and all that. If this works the way I think it does, then it'll be kind of like the Marathon flat pack. That if you install the entire set, it has like every game, and you just launch under one of them, and then pick through the entire pick out the 3 of them. So it'd be kind of like the trilogy release that was on Macintosh that way, wouldn't it? Oh, getting pushed around by a dog who does not like fireworks sounds. Yeah, it is. Okay, that's all set. Alright. So now I'll close FileZilla. I don't need to have those there, so I'll move it in the trash. And that's alright, now I'm gonna cancel out of there. Okay. I was about to say, come on, touchscreen. Now let's see if Marathon works. Oh, it's doing what I thought I was hoping it was going to do. That's nice. That means I can start any of these ones. So if I was to just like tap here, it should... Oh, it's on D-pad. I thought I was on the touchscreen. Okay, so if I hit this, it should start Durando. Once it loads it, of course. Pretty quiet. Why are you so quiet? Okay, that seems about right. I think on the original Marathon, I'm going to want to turn up the music because that's the only one with the ambiance. I wonder if this supports full net play. I'll have to experiment with that later. Oh, it uses analog sticks. Oh, that's good. Cool. But now the question is which one's fires. Alright. Back triggers. Oh, that's subfire. Okay, I open doors then. Whoa, controller, stop doing that. I wasn't expecting that. Okay, I'm having drift issues. That's no surprise. My Vita likes the drift. I'm just surprised it's going through my my PS4 controller. Whoa, there's a chat box? Really? So I guess it does support multiplayer. If there's a chat box. That's a very small print on that PS Vita. I'm gonna have to go get myself some new glasses at some point. Yeah, my controls are floaty. I probably would feel better using the other analog stick. But yeah, I'm glad to see this is working with this controller. Even though I was thinking the touchscreen might have done something. Seems like it doesn't do it in this game. That's fine. So that's cool. L1 works. I wonder what else they got on the Vita database downloader that is new. Eugene O. Eugene. Alright, am I even saying that right? Visual novel based on the immortal novel in verse by Alexander Pushkin. Oh, okay. Another visual novel from Russia. Alright, interesting. I technically don't need Emu for Vita because I use a bunch of separate emulators. How the heck are you going to run a DS on a PS Vita? That's got to be slow as molasses. It'd be like trying to ask the PSP to emulate the Game Boy Advance without using the BIOS. And even then, it'd still be slow as molasses. Plex! Oh, it's Switchfin. Jellyfin. Fully migrated to Plex. Why? Seriously, why? The whole idea of this is to be liberated from some company's whims. Plex is not what it used to be. That's why I'll say why. Now I don't have that on cell phone. I have the Namco 50. Is it? It's not really 50, but it's the one that has like 40 games on it, NES games, and it's like the NES port of that. Super Hexagon. Oh, that's the Android version of Super Hexagon. Why not Open Hexagon? I'm pretty sure that exists. Now, I do like shooters, so Stopwith is on there already on here. But I don't really like Unreal Tournament. What is this, Midnight? Can I even have a moment? Ugh! Girl, really? Up here panting away, pawing away at me? What the heck? Big black fluffy dog. Well, not really big, but big enough that... Well, I'm tempted to show you on camera again. Because you're in my face. It's hot, and you're breathing in my face. You are going to get shown on the camera. I'm... Not my tongue. Not tongue to tongue. What the heck, girl? Ugh! You fuzzy brat. Yeah, I can't even see you because you're so dark. Why you gotta be like that, huh? What was that about? You're gonna still just lick my knuckle? Really? Gotta put you back down since you're gonna probably follow her now. Oh, yeah. Whew. Anyway, I'm gonna keep looking through here now. I don't really need a, I know she did. She really did. Okay, why is there a whole separate Super Mario 64 when I've already seen a whole separate Super Mario 64 before? Although I think this one's different because it uses what's the name of the Harbor Masters method, where you supply the original game's dump and then you put it in the folder with the game, and then it loads the data from that. Why are you back in here already? Really? Really? Okay, I'll put you back on the camera. Brat. I was just reading something. You had to come back in here and make yourself known again. Why, ma'am? Huh? You trying to tell me to go to bed? What if I'm not ready to go to bed yet? What if I want to look through this menu some more? And then decide. How about that one? You want me to hold you this entire time, isn't it? Yeah, those fireworks keep just going off. You're going to keep turning your head towards them. Yeah, I see that. No, they're not seeing it because your eyes aren't glowing like mine are. And you are totally doing that. Why is that with that, huh? Well, I'm going to put you back down again, Midnight. Don't fight me on this. My goodness. Alright. Well, I don't have Morrowind. Or I have Reburnated on here. Return to Castle Wolfenstein. Is that the one that was like an online exclusive shooter? Don't really need Lero, even though that's a fun game. I already got Gloom on here. I'm running the most recent version of that. I don't really need Palm. I do like Sudoku, but every time I've tried to load this on here, on the Vita, it crashes. It just does not like my Vita. This program does not like my Vita model. It just doesn't. And there's nothing on the site warning you about it either. Majora's Mask. Mario Kart, really? Yeah, a lot of those. I wonder how long it would be before they put Star Fox in here then. Oh, that'd be so frustrating to some people. Just now it shows up on the Vita. Now I've seen recreations of Super Mario Bros. On here before, without requiring the original game. My question is why just a decompiler when there's already the other one I recorded a few months ago, but last month, Super Mario Bros. Remastered. Wagic. The thing is, I don't even think that's going to be a recent version of Magic. Oh, so you can just change the name without having them edit the icon. Well, that sucks. Valve. Yeah, I don't have the original Portal. I did put Quantum Chess on here. I put it on here because it was goes online, it uses Elite Chess, so I know it has the most recent, strongest chess engine. And on top of that, it has a good tutorial on how to solve puzzles on the chessboard. My question is, why have Scratch on the Vita? Programming for the Vita, not programming on the Vita. Which one makes more sense? Programming for the Vita. I don't really need a Powell save tool. Now I did put Billy on here for reasons, personal reasons. Oh, there is Star Fox there. Well, the thing is, this is Star Fox 64, so at least it's not. But I'm like, what? Star Warfare Alien Invasion. My question is that from the RetroArch steamer? Why don't you use RetroArch? Wireless file server. I don't need that. I already have an FTP transfer program. Might and Magic 2. I actually was Heroes of Might and Magic 2. I actually was curious about this game, but of course the whole thing about getting Might and Magic 2 gold. That's not the Defender 2 I was thinking it was going to be. Vita Wave. Full-featured music player for the PS Vita, built from the ground up as a native homebrew app. Clean interface, solid format. Okay, so this is just a regular media player. It doesn't do streaming music. I like to have streaming music as an option because I like internet radio. FluidSynth MIDI player. Well, that MIDI player sounds pretty good, but the whole thing about recording FluidSynth is going to just take up more space. Death cards. Death cards. Oh, cars. It's not T, it's an R. Vita SHH. I don't really need the SSH. Some of these have got very suspicious game port things mentioned there. Just goes to show that my Vita isn't going to like it. Baldur's Gate. Or a Doom generic. I don't really need Doom generic. I have Chocolate Doom on here. Castlevania style, huh? Interesting. Now, I actually have the original Postal. I have it on Steam. So I technically could install this. How many games can I put on here? Oh, that's the question, right? Where it says free storage, down there. 267.56 megabytes. I actually don't want to go under 250 because when this thing goes to try to update files, because it will, because Vita DV can do updates, I want to have the room that will install them, and before it deletes the package, otherwise they'll just crash. Invasion Vita. There's the Jellyfin app. Okay. But there is a driver and an adapter I can get that allows me to put even more on here. Because there's an adapter called the SD to Vita, where it uses an SD card for the storage. And currently, right now, I have an official Sony storage adapter. I need to get out of that menu. That's not the one I wanted to look at. I wanted to look at the content manager. I have an official Sony memory stick. That's what the 76. It's an 8 megabyte stick. I do know that Vita has on board another megabyte, so technically I have 9 megabytes. But when you have the one hooked in, you can't access the other one, and you can only toggle between the one set of storage to the other set of storage. So I can move some games to the one storage, and in fact I have done that. They don't like the work after I move them. I believe those that I have moved are great, are marked differently, but I don't remember how. I know I moved some of these. But I think it was like the I think it was like Street Fighter I moved on there. Street Fighter 3 Alpha Max. I think it's one of the ones I moved on there. Because I still remember which ones I moved. Honestly don't. I do know that the file manager allows me to move files also that I normally wouldn't be able to move, but the thing is that moving some and the game expects it to be in one spot and it won't work. That's the annoying part. So if the game is self-contained, I'd be fine if I moved it. Like when it comes to some of these board games. But other ones, if I was to move it, it would break the game big time. See, there's my easy remote client. That's why I don't need a drag and dropper, because I can do it right there. I wonder if I need to actually go through and remove some of the PSP games that aren't showing up on here. I want to make sure I don't have too much loaded into here in this way either. Now I put links to browser in here because the default browser doesn't have updated certificates, CLS certificates. So some websites just refuse to load. I mean, it doesn't limit me when I'm looking up like walkthroughs and stuff, because I can just use fraud find for this now. But before, that was a pain in the butt. Just taking a quick look to see what else is on here. And I did put some homebrew games on here. Yeah, like the Lord Runner, because I like the Lord Runner, and Chucky Egg, because can't go wrong having British Donkey Kong, especially if this has like, I think it is like 8 more stages. Not 8 more stages, but like, how many? There's like 8 or can't remember how many stages there are. I just know I like it. I'm not surprised they didn't make a shortcut link to this. I'm also surprised they don't have NetHack on here, or Powder. That might be one of my next goals, might be to get Powder and NetHack on here. Even sounds like the original machine. One thing's for certain, Sony wouldn't let you have this game on their system. That's for damn sure. And there was like another thing. Come on. There it goes. It wouldn't let me do it from the PlayStation 4 controller. Go figure. But let me go to my emulator folder. So actually I went kind of crazy getting Homebrew Sonic. And then ported Sonic. This is my answer to being able to play Sonic on the go. I do have a 3DS also. Well, technically it's a 2DS.
I think it's a old 2DS. I can't remember if it's the XL or not, but that thing is I would grab that. Yeah, that's a lot of Sonic. I like Sonic. That's what happens. I like Sonic. But I would grab a whole lot of I would grab my DS when it comes to when I want to play Spectrum games. I mean, I have the or NES system that has that uses a keyboard for input. A lot more than what the joystick does. And for on here, I do have the PS Vita. I do the PS Vita having ZX Spectrum, but the thing is, the ZX Spectrum on the PS Vita only does the 48K model. It doesn't do the 128K model with the enhanced music player and stuff like that. So for me, that's kind of like my desperation system. If it's a game that I don't normally worry about whether it's not going to work or not because it doesn't have enough RAM. But I did put a few other things on here because I was like, well, I'm finding my legal ways to play certain things. And I actually got these Dizzy games from the Yoko website before EA was bought out, and then they decided to private all the Codemasters games. You know, because of legal reasons. They didn't have the agreement to host them no more. Some of these other ones I got in here because I was able to find them on other websites that had them available for free and literally for free. And some of these other ones I put on here because I like them. That's just Nightmare. You know, because I got Maze of Galleys just recently, but I had Nightmare on here before. Where's that game? Must be way up at the top. There it is, BC Kid. Yeah, you have to be a 120. Okay, this is actually how I play Bonk's Adventure now. Never was released for purchase in the States by Sony. Never. And the only reason I could see they did this is because they thought it wouldn't sell. They put Bonk's Revenge on there, on the Vita, but not the original Bonk. So this is Factor 5's version of the game. Two-button controller. It's kind of funny to think that the guys that would end up making games for LucasArts and Nintendo at one point were doing ports of Hudson's games. Not only that, but ports of Hudson's versions of certain games too. Oops. Okay, I guess I'll just let that run away. The real ironic thing is that when this is in 2-button mode, it plays nearly identical to the TurboGrafx 16 version. I know. It's cute, but he's also very messed up. This game doesn't have how messed up Bonk actually gets. The thing is that I think his name only is Bonk in the States, United States. Every other country, he doesn't even have a name. He's either known as the BC Kid, as how this was ported as, or the PC Genjin, which basically means as a pun, console-based pun of caveman. Come on, grab it. There we go. I think one of these times I'm actually gonna try to sit down and beat this game like I used to do. It's been forever since I actually tried to really get through all of Bonk's adventure. Ow! I tell you, the really funny thing is I'm actually playing this through OBS, and the lag is like not even noticeable for some reason. However, my aim is off because the joystick float. Ow. Now I'm going to explain how messed up Bonk gets right here. Alright? This is just like the first game that does this. But then again, it's just because it's the sense of humor of the developers. So, the path ahead is blocked, and the only way through is through this dinosaur. So, I didn't mean literally through the dinosaur. So, we're going to dive into the digestive system. Die, literally. Bonk is one of those games where when you die, you can just, like, get back up a few times, because it does the life count where you die. So now that I've gone through the stomach, I'm going to go through the intestine. Now the TurboGrafx, I can dive to attack. On this version, I can't dive to attack. But it's not that much of a big loss. Now I'm going to clear out this guy's blockage and route the poop hole. Yeah, quite literally, that's what happened. Oh my gosh, I gotta stop myself. Oh, wrong button. I know, I'm about to beat the boss, but I gotta stop myself. I'm getting too carried away here. Because if I really get into this game, the stream isn't going to end until like 3 in the morning. No joke. I will grind like crazy trying to gain extra lives at some point. Just so I can survive the boss, which is, I think he would take like 5 lives. The final boss would take about 5 lives away from me. And then there's a boss rush before him. And of course, any boss could like kill me 2 or 3 times if I'm not paying attention. So I would literally be grinding at some point for extra lives. And that's not my plan. I'm like, nope, that's not my plan. Perhaps some other day I will get to that and just go bonk crazy. I just want to see what's in Yo-Yo Loader. Oh, it's updating. See, the update file took like 7 megabytes there to install. So that's the reason why I wanted to make sure that I have the install space for these updates. Because when I hit a certain limit, the system won't do updates. It just will not. It'll crash. That's the downside of when you homebrew these things. You gotta keep track of how much storage is on your system. You can't just count on it to not recognize that it doesn't have the space. Yeah, there's AM2R on here. So yeah, I had Metroid on here. So that explains that. And the log right here, that actually deletes the log to make room on the system. That loaded a lot faster. Okay, so I'm going to close that out. And then I'm going to go to here. And I'm going to hit this. I got rid of 4 crash records from when I was fighting the controller and it wasn't working right. Because I had the wrong driver loaded. Because I had loaded the Xbox One driver and I forgot all about it being loaded when I was trying to load the PS4 driver. And all that driver stuff is actually managed through a text file. But yeah, ITLS Enzo was supposed to like have updated certificates so the system would keep doing updates and stuff. And it actually stopped working right for me at one point. And it took me forever to figure out what went wrong. But now that I got it fixed, well, it's doing updates again. So, but I still had the other browser on there just in case that it starts doing that again. Under Adrenaline, the PSP emulator. But yeah, the application storage manager
This is where I installed this so I can go ahead and do that switch to the SD for Vita if I ever was to get one. And that was my hope. When I was gonna start working, I was gonna be able to eventually buy one of them. And then they started doing the chip shortage nonsense. So I'm like, great, now I can't even buy this thing. I gotta wait. I was able to order a bunch of old game cartridges for my Retron 5 and the Retron 5, but I couldn't get the adapter for this thing. Go figure. But some of these on here are like utilities, like Adrenaline Bubble Booter. I have Sly Cooper 3 also, but I don't have the storage space 3 right now to install Sly Cooper 3. Because that game is literally almost 4 gigabytes, and if my storage space is under 8, I'm not playing around with that right now. Especially since I have everything else in here, like Grady's collection, Cotton, Choniki, Tyrion, bunch of Sonic. Defender, that's actually Defender. That's the Defender I actually thought the other one said it was gonna be. Jetman, that's based on Jetpack with the ZX Spectrum. Atlantis, that is Atari's Atlantis, the one by in Magic. A bunch of pinball games. Methane Brothers, pretty fun game. New Robo, because I was like, well, I didn't have Chips Challenge at the time, but it was the closest to the Chips Challenge. But then later, I managed to find a PS Vita version of Chips Challenge. I know it was on PSP, but it wasn't up to date. The PS Vita one I found is actually up to date. I got Hurricane on here because I have Hurricane Collection on the PS4. Figured I may as well be able to play something like Hurricane on the go. Open Bore I put on here so I can play Double Dragon. I had Ninja Turtles in there also, but now it's just Double Dragon. 11 Music Player, that's the one on here that has the streaming radio. You know, for internet radio and stuff. Superplex has basically Boulder Dash. Got Street Fighter 1, I got Street Fighter Alpha 3 Max. Street Fighter 1 MR, it's Mugen Remix. But basically, it's still Street Fighter 1. Retro City Rampage, I bought that because I missed the aesthetic of classic GTA. I prefer that one over the 3D ones, actually. Mighty Mike, that's it's toy based. I mean, literally, it's theming as you're an action hero rescuing toy bunnies from in a toy store that's got where the other toys have gone crazy. It is basically the Macintosh version of Zombies Ate My Neighbors. Plays pretty much the same way. I love it. Wipeout. This is Wipeout Rewrite. The original source code, including the tracks from the beta, was put up publicly on I can't remember which website it was, but it was like the Amiga version, and it got rewritten to a whole bunch of different stuff. This is basically my way of saying, hey, I got Wipeout on the Vita store. Also, this is just a way of playing it without having the deal with Sony's licensing. Sue me over at Sony. New Adventure Island, I got that because I actually like the Adventure Island series because I like the Wonder Boy games, and they're all the same series basically now. Commander Genius, I like Commander Keen. It was id Software's answer to Super Mario Bros. After they were told by Nintendo that Nintendo didn't want them to make PC ports of Super Mario Bros. 3. So they said, well, let's make our own platform series. So they basically outer space traveling kid with a pogo stick. Fun game series. hard but fun. And Cannonball, that's Outrun. Show every board game I got in here. A lot of these weren't available commercially on PS Vita in one format or another. This one and this one, PS Vita version. This one here, that's a rip of the PSP game converted. Not the PSP game. Was it the PSP game or the PlayStation 1 game? That's a rip that was converted. Works. I mean, there's also a public domain free version of Scrabble, but it crashes on here, and well, I refuse. I refuse to put up with it. Reversey, and as I said before, replace chess. I had pure chess on here at one time, but quantum chess takes up less space, just as strong, even more feature packed with chess puzzles. It stays. Pure chess had to go for right now, and Yaxi, that's Yahtzee. I don't even know if I can even shake the dice with this version on this PS4 controller. I wonder if I could do that, or if it's or if it'll rotate in weird ways. Because this is one of those games like Shogi, where it supports the sideways holding of the PS Vita. So does the pinball games. And then Boggle, just because I wanted another word game besides Scrabble. Pipe Dream, this one I also bought on the Vita store. But some of these most of these I've like added off to the side, except for Exchanger and Mr. Driller. Mr. Driller I can actually use that on other systems also, but there's no point. And Exchanger, I don't think Exchanger has its the PlayStation version available anywhere other than on the Vita right now. I think maybe it was on PS3 as the PlayStation edition for the States. I don't remember. All I know is Exchanger is a pretty hard game. Even though this is the original Money Island Exchanger title, and the current new version that's on PS4 is Money Puzzle Exchanger. Still same game, only without the extra puzzle stuff. Put Minesweeper on here because I like Minesweeper. I've been studying that too. And see, there's that. See, there's the Sudoku that works for me, not the other one. And Sakura Pass I put in here because I like certain types of racing games. The top-down racer, as I said before, same aesthetic as the original Grand Theft Auto. And Destroy is basically Bomberman. I actually have Bomberman Land. I bought that thinking it was just going to be like Bomberman, the actual Bomberman. Instead, it's just a bunch of mini games. And you can only play the battle mode multiplayer. And the other person has to own Bomberman Land. So I was like, damn it. Whereas with Destroy here, anybody can get it. And then Hexahop. I like Hexahop. It's actually the reason why I have Zump, because Zump and Hexahop are the same type of game. Now I've been sitting here talking about this thing. And I'm almost tempted to go into the PSP homebrew browser and see if I can get NetHack that way. But the thing is, NetHack isn't going to work that way. I already know it doesn't work because it requires a special loader to run NetHack. At least that version of NetHack. And I feel the same issue with the
Powder. And I'm pretty sure Powder's not on that store. Yeah, I know. I got a bunch of them there. That's one thing about me is I have a lot of games. So that's what I do. It's my obsession. I like puzzle games. I like some role-playing games. I see my list on the PlayStation 4. I think I have a video where I streamed that before. My list of PlayStation 4 games. But on the PlayStation 4, I have mostly arcade ports. Or just games that I wanted to get on the Switch that wasn't available on the Switch. Woo! I'm gonna call it a night. I'm already yawning and it's almost midnight. So do I. I just don't have any on here. The PS Vita did at one point have the ability to watch movies. I mean, you literally could just buy movies. And that was just because you could run through the PlayStation Portable, the PSP mode. Because that device had support for UMD discs. And there were movies on it, and that was how you could watch movies through UMDs. UMDs is one of Sony's proprietary things. But the UMDs, they didn't sell well. And I can understand why, because those are actually kind of limiting when it came to the games that they're releasing on the PSP. The PS Vita actually uses cartridges. Well, yeah, I would if I could. I don't have Uncharted. I'm pretty sure it would run just fine on here. I just don't have it. I'm pretty sure I could run Tomb Raider on here. Like one of the high-end ones. And not have to rely on something like OpenLaura. Although I think OpenLaura would probably run better on here anyway, because it has real-time casting shadows and ray tracing on a Vita. You know, something that supposedly isn't possible. And also first-person mode. The good old nausea-inducing first-person Lara Croft. Perhaps at some point I'll try to set that up, but if I do that, I'm going to have to use the DOS files. I didn't mean MS-DOS files. Wouldn't be nearly as pretty or as fun to listen to that, because there wouldn't be any music. But at least the game would run. And we'd have our cutscenes. What's another one that was pretty ambitious for this system that would probably run on here? Borderlands. That's another one I don't have. Borderlands. What's technically Borderlands 2? I don't have it. I bought my PS Vita out after all the bundles were done. Except for Sly Cooper. That's how come I had the Sly Cooper one. Why I have Sly Cooper 1 and 2, because I was in the bundle with Sly Cooper 3. And the Sly Cooper 1 and 2 on here are actually pretty good looking ones too, compared to the original release. So, but some of these I would like to get rid of because I know they don't work no more. Like well, not messages for sure. Party, not that either. Welcome Park, I would like to get rid of. Some point soon, I would also like to get rid of the actual PlayStation Store, right there, PS Store. I would really like to get rid of that one because eventually it's going to just take up space on the system. There's going to be no point in having it there. But yeah, I'm gonna call that night for the PS Vita. I'm gonna shut that thing off, and the first step to shutting it off is going to be I think I'll just turn off the PS4 controller when I turn off the Vita. So I like how the camera just freezes. Actually, the screen is dim, but it's still showing the swirl. But anyway, that's it for the night. For my liberated PS Vita. And looking through the Vita database. And deciding on a few things to throw on there. Okay, good night. Where's my stop button?